So dogs. You know dogs, right? We've all seen dogs before with the freaking tails and the four leggies and the face. Look at the little face. Look at the face. You know? Dogs, for all the things we know dogs have, they also have a downside. They could have fleas. Godless hitchhikers. I also recently picked up a flea myself. At least a copy of it. Well, Alistair from Lowtek Games had sent me one of a very limited run of 200 available. Thanks to Lowtek Games, you guys are awesome. Fleas jump to get around, and that is the only way to traverse the levels in this game. The only way. And that leads to some very cleverly designed levels and difficulty. See, your default jump, which you will be doing non-stop, is quite high. It's more of a leap, really. And this in itself is the hook of the game, and is also the main challenge, as you so often have dangers above head, like swords, syringes, candles? I mean, thumbtacks? Yeah, probably thumbtacks. Dog probably swallowed some thumbtacks. Oh yeah, some levels have you jumping from dog to dog, so the levels have you inside of or on top of random puppies with parasite problems. So whether it's the thumbtacks or mosquitoes, your always on high jump is very often dangerous. Just imagine playing any other classic platformer while someone else constantly presses the jump button for you. Now, to use the mini-hop to get through obstacles, you repeatedly press A button to stunt your vertical and make it under the trickier spots. You'll also need to employ expert timing, the air dash, or both. Now, these seemingly counterintuitive controls, pressing jump to jump less, what the fuck, is what makes this game so fun to get good at and super addictive as well, as it really grows on you, becoming almost rhythmic. Speaking of addictive and rhythmic, the music by Tui for this game is catchy as fuck. Speaking of fuck, you will say this word a whole lot as you run through your seemingly massive amount of lives you have collected. You collect lives by donating blood jars you find to the Fatty Flea King for refu fleas. You'll also meet up with the Fleedom Fighters. Yeah, there's quite a few puns in here. The writing is actually pretty good, honestly. So as you progress through the first group of stages, while the game is still gentle enough to allow you to stack up some extra guys, you'll think to yourself, wow, I have so many lives. What could possibly go wrong? What a fool you and I were just a moment ago. Just a group of stupid, naive idiots. Simpler times. And you will inevitably be up against a spot that robs you of 70 plus lives because you just couldn't nail it perfectly. That said, as pissed as I've been, I've always come crawling back, and you will too. When you do return, keep in mind there is no save feature. This game isn't just 8-bit in style, it was originally a full-ass NES cart, and batteries are pretty pricey to add coming from an indie developer. Given how expensive cartridges are to begin with, no batteries, no save feature. Even with the mighty VMU. The game would have to be reprogrammed because the Dreamcast version is basically the NES ROM running on an auto-boot Nestor DC emulator, as I understand it. NES problems require NES solutions. Alistair made up for this lack of save feature by throwing in a super secret warp zone style level select in the first stage, and I'll show you how to do it. Given this game's origins, we obviously aren't losing any frames. Doesn't exactly bring the Dreamcast to its knees, but the sprite work is really nice, sharp, and has a lot of personality. Every NPC and other buggers have just enough detail to have that personality shine through. And sometimes they give hints or have incredibly important things to say, like some real-world life or death shit. So much wisdom. I like this game's unique color profile. It really gives a classic puzzle game feel, and on some level, it is a puzzle game at heart. A lot of levels are single screen, but it gets more complex as you progress. You really gotta plan out your path and execute to complete some of the later stages. There are also forced scrolling areas where you need to outrun enemies, and while being chased down by mosquitoes, the level itself, or a pursuant puppy paw, you will still need to navigate your way above ledges, under spikes, hop over pitfalls, and still be able to snatch up as many blood jars as possible, as you will need them. These areas are hectic and a great change of pace to break up the normal levels. Now, skipping ahead or beating enough levels will actually unlock you the aforementioned air dash. And Lowtek Games has utilized this new mechanic to great effect, incorporating it into the level design seamlessly. This new move adds quite a bit more complexity to the platforming in this side-scrolling puzzler, and it just gives you so much more control and just feels a lot more dynamic. The air dash is good fun. If you're a collector like me, you will appreciate the Dreamcast port's disc and case art is a sharp vector look that's colorful with a great art style. Also, they are limited, and Alistair from Lowtek sent us an actual limited number copy. You are awesome. DC Hub thanks you so much.
Announcement.
Lowtek is also coming out with sort of a sequel in the same vein called Tapeworm. Looks to be another 8-bit puzzle platformer with another creative concept. It's like Snake meets FLEA, I guess. And it's a tapeworm as in the obvious, but also lives in a cassette tape deck. Just looks dope, and if you like FLEA, this game has a Kickstarter. Really happy this game came to the Dreamcast, because not only did I get to review it, but I had a chance to play it. I probably really wouldn't have known much about it otherwise, and it was a lot of fun, but also a lot of fun to review as well. Right here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Right here's a video that I'd personally like you to watch. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye.